there when it happens.
Holly.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Holly, and welcome back to Chronicle. This is the home where a bunch of my favourite people now get together and tell some awesome stories, and hopefully take you guys along for the ride with us. On today's episode, we're going to be playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So if you don't know what that is by now, it's about time you get to know, and you can do so by our return to Cthulhu. We're going to be returning to the homebrew world that I created. Why? It's not even on you! It's not even on you!
Oh, wait!
We're going to be returning to the
Ben is never
homebrew
going
world.
to change the camera.
Guys, let me do the intro.
Sorry.
We're going to be returning to the homebrew world that I created. So I'll give you guys a quick recap on everything there, so you won't have missed too much. But if you'd like to catch up on all of the campaign that we ran so far for Lockie's campaign, we've got a couple of episodes that'll be up on YouTube. The links will be in the description below. We've also got our one-shots, a couple of videos for those ones. I think we've done maybe like 5 or so one-shots? Maybe, no, 8. Surely we've done like a couple. So if you'd like to check out some one-shots, we have those as well. And if you'd also like to catch up on all of my campaign so far that I've been DMing for our Fearless Adventuring Party here, you can also go and check that out. We also have links to, I think, is it TikTok on there now? I don't know. Instagram, all of our socials will be there, so please check those out. We would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Another thing I should note is that unfortunately Connor can't join us today for our return back to Cthulhu, but we do have Mark joining us.
Yay!
Mark is going to be joining us for this campaign as well as Lockie's, so we will get a good little character introduction in a little bit.
Paid your taxes.
No, I was so
No.
happy
No.
that I didn't hear.
No evading your taxes. All I want is for everybody to be happy, healthy, and enjoy some D&D. So I think, unless anybody else has got anything else to say, I always hate kind of opening it up because I never know what I'm going to get. Anybody have anything that I might have missed?
I think you got it all.
I think you got it all.
Hell yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick little recap for everybody before I get into my usual prologue. Another thing that I'd like to note is that the prologue this time is just going to be essentially, you guys are going back to when you just entered into Tollen, so that Mark doesn't miss the description. I've gone back and I've done a little bit of an edit for it, so that's where we're going to be starting. But for our recap, where last we left off our chaotic, fearless adventuring party, the gang had finally made their way to the agricultural breadbasket of the Prussian Empire, Daunt. After investigating some mysterious disturbances and disappearances of town members and cooperating with the arbiter of the town, Damaris Flores, to solve these crimes, the party plunged into the Chronicle, a network of passages within the Dawnvale Mountains carved by ancient dwarven settlers. Making their way through the Chronicle, the party encountered devilish foes before finally meeting a mysterious shadowed figure, presumably responsible for the deaths of the kidnapped town members. Collecting their reward from Arbiter Flores, the party makes their way through the Chronicle once more to reach their destination of Runalorm. Stopped at the gate to the Chronicle passage by an individual who is steadily growing higher on their list of enemies, Sir Lawrence Seelan, the party eventually makes their way towards Runalorm. Along the way, they encounter a mouse folk warrior known as Parashev, and after a scuffle, they agree to transport their new acquaintance's cargo, a crate of cheese, to Tollen and Runalorm. We rejoin our party as they emerge from the Chronicle passages to the site of Tollen before them. From the darkened interior of intricately carved dwarven corridors, smattered with reliefs of fearsome warriors and benevolent yet stoic gods that line the hallowed halls of a kingdom presumed abandoned many moons ago. An eclectic, colourful group of adventurers looking weary from days of travel and tension that hangs in the air emerges. A cacophony of sound blasts towards them as they make their way through an elaborate archway, hundreds of angular dwarven runes lining the sides of the arch and glowing faintly in a light purple like many of the runes that line the Chronicle corridors. Before them lay a colossal cavern, carved into the stone that lay leagues below the jagged peaks of the Dawnvale, between the ancient passageways of the Chronicle and the dramatic soaring ceilings of the new Kazakhstan run. A steady trickle of weary passers-by and travellers emerges from the Chronicle to join the end of a long queue that winds its way down further into this enormous open space. An ornate gilded carriage glides to a stop at the end of the line, right before this ragtag group of adventurers that have emerged with their own wagon from the depths of the Chronicle. The guards stationed on both sides of the small platform at the back cross their polearms over the back door, gaze unmoving from the horizon before them. Two other guards descend from the platform at the front to stand alongside the carriage, Jesus. Shorter spears stiffly held in their arms, and their gaze fixed forward to look for potential threats in the line before them and emerging from the corridors around them. At the head of this line, travellers begin to descend it down a series of shallow stairs that wind downwards, the shaft of the staircase jutting out to the side of the pit itself and providing a space for carts, horses and groups to traverse the space. A wide stretch of cobblestone, about 60 feet across, stretches from the walls of this cavern to the outskirts of what appears to be a gigantic cavity in the centre of this space. Whilst the contents of this pit aren't visible to the travellers emerging from the Chronicle, beyond the drop-off of its titanic sides, the warm glow and flicker of lights beam upwards towards them, joining the sounds of laughter, raucous music, and loud conversation. Above a soaring domed ceiling boast strings of huge lanterns stretched across the interior, wobbling and jostling slightly as a small cluster of owls settles on its cable. The domed ceiling itself has intersecting strips that run along, of smooth stone lined with sharp geometric patterns that seem to sparkle in the flickering lantern light, kind of reach a point, almost like a ceiling rose, that appears to be in the shape of a huge gear. For our adventuring party, you manage to bring your cart alongside a series of rickety wooden railings that line the circumference of this enormous pit carved into the centre of this cavern. Roughly hewn wooden posts and dowels are held together by fraying hemp rope, and it kind of rattles as you pull your cart up next to it, the horse's hooves clicking against the stone. Across from you, on the other side of the pit, you can see small spheres that are carved into the walls of the stone that kind of boast shop fronts of all kinds. Bakeries, blacksmiths, jewellers, inns. These small pockets are interspersed all along the walls, stretching upwards to about 150 feet and connected by swinging rope bridges and almost sloping walkways of stone that form a lattice above the pit itself, allowing onlookers to gaze downwards to the happenings of this eccentric town. Casting your eyes over the top of these makeshift railings and down into the pit below, you're met with a riot of colour about 100 to 150 feet below. Vibrant patterned awnings stretch over benches and open stalls, pulled taut and ricocheting light across the masonry that beckons customers forward into the clutches of merchants waiting to hawk their wares. Smaller strings of fairy lights swing in between these stalls, and wrought iron lanterns are pinned to the open faces of the pit. Similar smaller pockets are riddled along the walls, and tables are overflowing with goods and merchandise of varying shapes, sizes, and qualities. A series of ramshackle lean-to buildings made of wood and stone are interspersed between the open stalls that mark the interior of this cavity, with a larger building kind of stamped in the centre of it all. The central building is of a finer quality than its surrounding stalls and shop fronts, with intricate masonry and pillars that appear to kind of rise out of the ground itself. No feasible kind of platform at the bottom anchoring it. Jagged geometric patterns mark the wrought iron windows of this building, some of them pushed open to allow music and laughter to drift outwards towards you all now from the second story of this building. Small balconies jut outwards from doors, overlooking the colourful, bustling marketplace below. A singular, rugged sign sways under the weight of an owl bouncing off the wrought iron pole. The text scrawled across it is illegible to you from where you stand, but it certainly seems as if it's in a kind of flaking calligraphy, where once it was beautiful, now it has been worn by time, dust, and presumably owls that sit on the wrought iron signs. As you frantically track your eyes around this open space in awe, you hear the clattering of a horse's hooves quickly approaching from behind. Just as you whip your head around to catch a glance at the culprit, a sudden gust of wind blasts against you, ruffling your clothes and your hair. You catch sight of the back of a single rider dressed head to toe in soft, comfortable leathers designed for days on end of travel. A singular red silken sash with an inscription is scrawled across it and slung across their back. A series of leather pouches and satchels are affixed to the saddle of a muscular chestnut horse. The rider quickly bypasses the line and makes their way straight to the start, despite the sound of affronted shouts from others that are waiting in line and presumably have been waiting for a long time. The sound of rapid hooves descend the stairs before the rider eventually vanishes from sight. What would you guys like to do? I will say,
Do you want to say first?
I was going to say, if you'd like to, I can have maybe one or two of you guys roll a perception check if you wanted to see what the sash says.
Before that,
I'm
I
no
got two
longer a
questions.
perceptive one.
So it's a pretty hectic day today at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is there am I aware of any festivals or like specific happenings that mean that all the laughter and merriness is going on? Or is it just, it's a busy trade town, everyone's having fun, money's flowing and luxuries are
roll a
going?
religion check or a history check, whichever you
The
prefer.
money and wine are
I'll-
flowing.
Let the streets flow red with wine. That wasn't the saying. Fuck, I messed
With
it up.
blood!
It can be the same.
It is now.
It's just a lot more
Better than me. I
lighthearted.
rolled an 8. I got a +6, by the way.
I'm
Plus
missing-
6 to
I'm
my
missing
perception.
perceptive. I used to have good perception.
Do it now!
Reasonably.
Plus, fuck, it's better on there. 16 anyway.
I'm pretty sure you have.
For the sash or for your religion check?
Religion check.
I'll say that you don't know of any that are occurring at the moment in Tollen. You've never been here before. You went to run along through. You went from Sprockerot to Runalong.
Cool.
And then from Runalong, I assumed you went to the Glass Shore, but I could be wrong. You went to Tuttle's instead, maybe?
Tuttles, I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I don't believe you've been to Tollen before.
Cool.
You kind of get the feeling with A16 that though there is a festival that's approaching that'll be observed in Runalong, you don't think that it's the Winds of Change is the festival that'll be celebrated in Runalong, but you don't think that this is necessarily related. You think it's more that it's a kind of a trade town.
Sure.
This is kind of a waypoint, almost like Ormerum was, but for going from Runalong or to Runalong, it gets quite a lot of traffic, especially now that the Crimalt Pass is open. So you assume it's probably closer to that.
My second question was last time I believe while we were in line, I met up with a ram person. What is the species called?
Montiscos.
Wasn't
You're
that
not
in
gonna remember.
Wasn't that in the
But I think
Chronicle
that
entrance?
was
That was at the beginning?
yeah.
So I've still got that little compass thing.
Yes.
Perfect.
It's
Cool. Those are my two questions.
Perception checks. I got an 8.
I got a 13.
Okay. I'll say that unfortunately, Avalon, you're so distracted by the fact that there's all of these lights and all of these kind of pockets that
space.
are
Yeah.
carved into Tollen's walls that almost look a little bit like Swiss cheese. Based on how these little hemispheres kind of fit themselves into the side of like this cylindrical.
Imagine this about, like, you know, I'm kind of like a tourist, aren't I?
Yeah,
I've
kind of like a
I'm
tourist,
just like,
yeah.
what the fuck's going on? This is so cool.
This is almost like all of those people that go to the Colosseum and see all the
Yeah.
archways and they're like, whoa, there's all of these like cool archways and all of these cool spaces. That's basically
Yeah.
you with Tollen and the swinging rope bridges. You can see that there are kids that are kind of running along the rope bridges trying to like
Yeah.
bounce them to
I'm just
upset
being
people
like, this
that
is
are also-
fascinating. You know, the great thing, this would never get past health and safety.
No, there's no OSHA here.
Yeah.
None of it.
I tap Abelard on the shoulder. By spring, 2 out of 5 of those will be dead.
What? I didn't get back the accent. Because it's French, so what? I am working on it. I will get there again.
It's no longer a
It was a
And
bit
what
more.
was
It was
on
a
the-
bit
It's more
more.
French.
It was
Yeah.
a bit more German, wasn't it?
I
think
think
it's
you
more
were like
French.
you were like
You were
German
vaguely
I know.
It was
European.
vaguely European.
That was your
I'm
accent.
just traveling around Europe a bit.
That's alright.
Okay, I am back there. All right. What?
I was kidding. It was a dry joke.
Uh-huh.
They might be dead.
You rolled a 13.
Yeah.
Okay. As everybody else is kind of distracted by the visage of Tollen in all its glory, with all of its like sparkling lanterns and flickering lights, you look at the person who has just kind of whipped past you, caused all of your clothing and fabric to kind of ruffle with the gust of wind that kind of kicks back at you. And you're feeling so affronted that you squint to try and catch a name or anything on the back of the sash, and you notice that the sash itself appears to say Sinaran Runners on it.
May I get spelling?
Yes, Synaren, and then runners like the way you'd usually spell the
Runners?
word.
Awesome. Would I know anything about them at
You can roll
all?
a history check.
Awesome. I shall try.
Is June?
Scary.
Do you share with the party at all?
After the history check, I might.
Oh, but I could help with it. Too late.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
This is not true. You're talking about not Lynn.
I do not speak. This is so
Alexander
annoying. I'm
Hamilton.
just gonna. Rochelle is. I'm free.
No, yeah. Good
It's
job.
only a 12.
Okay. You're not really from around here, but you do know that Sinaran Runners are part of the postal service in the Prussian Empire. They are a branch of the postal service, which is called the Imperial Transport and Communication Service, or ETCs, or etc. for short.
Oh.
Awesome. I kind of. Where are you, Abelard and like? Were you guys at the front of the carriage when we?
I think it was Abelard and Kruger sitting at the front of the carriage.
Oh.
At this point in time.
How can I know?
Huh?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Who's gonna role
much
play
of an
as
explanation.
Con? Not even as
Do you want the
Kruger.
explanation?
As Connor
Yeah.
playing Kruger.
I kind of lean up to you guys, Kruger and Abelard, and I
Yeah.
recite that information to you two
Okay. I'm just
in a very like that person. I don't know why they did that, but that's all I saw when they.
Would we?
Trying to go from
Yeah,
No, I'm trying. I'm working on
Watching
it.
the transformation, you were just like.
Insults. Insert.
Yeah.
They're
I
there.
hate you guys. I hate you guys. I hate you guys.
You guys suck. I'm emo.
From like a military perspective, would messengers and stuff? Do I understand like what something like that would be used for? Like,
Yeah, you would have messengers and scouts and things that would take messages to different, I'd say different
outposts and
places,
stuff.
different outposts, and kind of follow squadrons and battalions as they go through the Lorothian wastes, or sorry, the astral wastes. But I think you're not too sure of the application of what a postal service necessarily might be like throughout the Prussian Empire.
Yeah.
You gather that they kind of do the same thing, but you've only ever experienced them when it's in wartime, so maybe they're taking some really important messages. You don't know.
Yeah. I was just be like, I mean, there was a dead king.
Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
Ben, how's it going?
I'm just like.
Yeah, no, that was Jack talking, not Ben.
I mean, that would warrant a rush. I imagine dead kings traveling messengers around. Also, I mean, surely they would use magic, unless they're transporting something.
Even then.
I mean,
There is a line for a
Dude.
reason.
Who did you share your information with?
Kruger and Abelard.
We're all in the same car.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all
I
hear
like
it?
leaned in and spoke to them, but I wasn't being like stealthy. Like, guys, only you guys can know this information. There's a male person.
Gilbert's like
Guys.
right up here. And like, what you talking about?
What the fuck?
June, I'll get you to roll a history check for me, please.
21.
Ooh. Okay.
No, sorry.
You bastard. Okay. I was expecting you to get a lower roll. Okay. You having been a courier yourself, you know plenty about etc. and about the Sinaran runners,
It's such a confusing name. I love it.
etc.
Yeah, it's like you know a lot about etc.
Yeah, that was my intention. I'm not going to say the empirical transport and
No,
communication
it's really
service,
cool. It's really cool.
So I made it specifically etc. so that I could piss everyone off
No,
by
cool.
saying etc. all the time.
Did they look like an important etc.?
They did, yeah. So one thing that you know about the Sinaran runners is that generally they're entrusted to deliver highly important information and documents at a rapid rate. So they're generally like your express delivery within the empirical transport and communication service, etc. They were kind of famed for their involvement during the War of the Ashford Steppes in transporting documents, plans, messages, and things to the front line from allies in major cities in Runalong, for example, to the front line in the Ashford Steppes. At this point, the Prussian Empire itself wasn't established, but it was through their kind of rapid delivery of these different messages and plans and things like that that actually helped the Allies and the Prussian Empire, which it would later become, to succeed over the Kingdom of Acheron. Essentially, you know that generally they do sometimes now carry packages that are generally from higher paying individuals, and they usually, sometimes they can be volatile, and sometimes they can just be really valuable stuff and information.
Cool. Well, I ramble that off to the rest of the party.
Epic.
Trust that the allies are the people who won. Oh guys, the best friends won and the evil bad people lost. That's also part of June's rambling, and can we follow them? I guess we just really have to say,
I just like look at it. I just like, I mean, we could follow them in theory. However, we are in a queue.
yeah. I mean, do we feel like?
I do not feel like fighting the police.
Neither.
I can.
I don't.
Oh my God.
I'll go.
No.
Why not?
No.
I'm just like, I will invest in child leeches eventually.
Okay.
Why?
Whatever. There was like about to get off the car.
I'm just like, one long arms.
Why?
I'm small. I could probably get past them if I wanted to.
And Speedy.
And speedy. That's true.
I do not feel like
Being
dealing
small
with
and
another
speedy.
arrest warrant.
Yeah.
It's a good plan.
You can be small and
Whatever.
speedy and get arrested.
I'm sure we will figure out what's going on when we get to Ramalong.
I can give you a knife.
No, that's even better. I can stab someone at the same time.
It's very noticeable, just like.
Yes, welcome
That
back.
last part
I'm a
was
dad.
that last part was a joke.
Remember the
No.
last time you joked about something like that, and then we were held onto the side of
That
like the
wasn't
line that we were
me.
in previously,
That was Kruger.
and you joined in on it.
No, okay, but that's different.
Then don't start another one.
Let's once again, let's not have jokes with the law. Typically, you find the law does not have a great sense of humor.
You started it.
I don't care
You're the one
who
that offered
started
to fight.
it.
You started it.
I don't care who started it. I am finishing it. This discussion is over.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, Dad.
Okay.
As you guys are having this discussion, You are moving up centimetre by centimetre. The ornate carriage before you seems to kind of leave a space. A really annoying person in a queue that like leaves a gap before them in front of the next person. So they're not pushed up all the way, and you can see that there's a queue that's kind of forming behind you guys.
It just makes
Behind,
sense.
kind of going in back into the Crimalt. And as you guys kind of, who's at the back of the cart? Kind of facing outwards. Did you guys have a lookout?
I'm
I
probably.
think I was looking because I was sitting at the front of the cart.
You
I
guys
think
didn't look behind?
A9's at the back.
I'm
just 'cause
probably
that's where
sitting-
A9 fits.
That's-
Oh no, I was
does
sitting.
Yeah, we're, like,
I'm
close
sitting
up to the
front.
front,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sitting up front, annoying
Okay.
Fuck off.
A9, as you are kind of listening to this conversation in the back, you hear what sounds like a clattering kind of coming up next to your cart. And you look down and you notice, Mark, would you like to introduce your character for us, please?
Introduce my character.
Yes, please.
Oh dear.
Oh my
Hello.
Hello.
What happened to that?
I'm
gonna make Nottingham career British.
A lot of my character is still in the works, but very briefly, my name's Val Leiden. I am of Kendo race. And
Stop.
What is it?
Endor?
Kenda.
Kenda,
I don't know the
Kendall?
rest.
Elvish,
Kenda.
shortish.
I'm a race short person.
Yeah, I imagine you're like 4'11" or so.
Yeah.
Like 4'11", 5'.
I'm wearing a hat similar to the hat I was wearing.
I'll write that down, that's important.
Apparently it's a
details.
place.
Wearing a hat.
Kendall, isn't that a place in Star Wars?
Glasses.
India. That's
Same colour
Elvis.
glasses. I've got a large
Let
back.
Mark introduce his character.
Yeah, sorry.
A large backpack on my back, which I'm assuming is creating
The cluttering,
the
yeah.
cluttering. I guess I've got a bunch of stuff.
Oh my god, is
Hanging
this
off.
my third short person?
Yeah.
Another short person.
Oh no.
It's like, yeah.
How tall? How tall?
4'11", 5 foot, I would say.
No, taller than me. I'm like 2'8" or something.
Shorter than me.
I'm 6 foot.
Understandable.
Yeah, I'm 2'2". I'm really sure.
Yeah, 4 foot.
Because you're tall. You're like Kendas are taller than like halflings and stuff. They're still quite tall, but like they're like very
I'd
short.
say
They're
you're
very short
probably-
humans.
I was gonna say you're probably like, I don't know,
Like
somewhere
like a short
between
human.
like 4'10" and like 5'3", somewhere like
Okay.
that. Is that kind of what we're looking at? I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's kind of.
Yeah.
Can June roll perception on your height?
Like
yes.
why though?
Can I use my passive perception on the height? It's a 16.
yeah.
That person's short.
No, I mean comparing them to
Comparing to our party is like too tall.
yeah.
3.
Let me. I'm going specifically to look at the height. I
I've got
fucking hate
horns as
all
well.
of you.
How tall are you again?
I don't remember.
Yeah, how tall do you want to be?
I know in the pictures
I
that
thought you were
I'm like
5'9".
Yeah,
pretty tall. But I also got horns.
I'm 6'4".
I
I'm
got
like
big horns.
6'3". Tall people.
Tall people. You're a normal person.
Horns. I'm part of this.
Oh, okay, I was totally wrong.
Yeah?
Yeah, apparently they rarely grow over more than 4 feet tall.
Oh, never mind. I'm very wrong.
So-
Oh,
Small
so I'm
person.
a very short.
Yeah, never mind. You're like you're Dilbert height.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're
very
you're
Dilbert.
short.
No,
Like
I'm
2'2".
2'2". I'm very short. I'm like half that tall. I'm like this tall. on the ground.
It's like Tutu with this giant branch. It's like the puppy that's just picked up like a tree branch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway,
I'm so proud of myself.
Okay,
continue
okay.
on, please.
4 foot is yeah. Yeah, so backpack. And yeah, I'm sort of wearing like explorer attire. So like I think we've got like a greenish leather jacket. Yeah, just pants.
Like a genie kind of pants.
Oh,
Or like
Jeans.
yeah.
comes to mind is like
leather
cargo
jacket.
pants, but it's
Well, I'm like just go like you got like that. You could have pants you vibing with.
Oh, you got like an Indiana Jones look?
yeah, sort of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of.
But with nerd glasses.
Yeah.
And short as fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, no glasses, and also have a
No
bunch
Harrison Ford.
Oh,
with
An imposter in Harrison Ford's clothes, maybe.
Harrison Ford without the CGI.
Okay, so do you have anything else you wanted to describe for us?
no, not that point.
Sure. So as A9, you look down and you see this figure kind of with the bag kind of pulled across the shoulder so you can stuff different kind of maps and books and things in there. Actually some what appear to be bones kind of tumble out and clatter against the stone. You hurriedly pick them up and kind of push them into your arms and then put them back into your bag, kind of do up the drawstring, kind of shove it back over behind you. You kind of look ahead and the actual queue itself seems just insurmountable to you, and you feel a little bit just kind of weary after such long travel. You're really just hoping to get to Runalong. And you stumble upon what appears to be a mechanized figure kind of staring down at you from atop a cart where there's a lot of arguing going on.
Yelling in French. No!
Well,
Fuck you!
Hello? So, Mark is walking past?
Past the cart, yeah.
And have I picked up all the stuff yet? Or
Yeah,
am I
you
still-
picked everything up.
I've
You're
picked
still,
everything
everything was kind of clattering around in your bag. Some of the bones and things had kind of fallen out. You shove different kind of parchment pieces and bones back into you. You can be in the process of doing that if you'd like.
I can, and then
Do you need a hand?
oh
with that?
I much appreciate the hand.
I'm gonna jump off the cart, despite Lockie arguing with these guys that they should
Does
get
my
off
passive
the cart.
perception get jump off the cart?
How heavy is A9?
Oh, true.
Does the
Many.
guy
I've
just like
seen like
I'm
someone
not...
like,
Sorry.
but I've seen someone like your character.
No.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Probably not. You probably haven't seen half of.
I'm gonna
Least
say
for one.
probably not.
Yeah, I suppose.
Arkanoids are kind of rare in the Prussian Empire unless you get to places like Sprockrot and Runalong, which you haven't been before. You would have heard of them. Arkanoids are kind of... They usually focus in the Cardinal Triad, which is a completely different set of continents, but they do kind of trickle over. You might have seen some, depending on which way you came, you might have seen some on your journey here, but they're generally not as necessarily appearing as humanoid as this one before you does. This looks like an actual person that's just appears to be metallic or robotic.
Oh, okay, right. I'll go with that. I've heard of them, but I have never seen one before.
Sure.
And I can say what can I say? What? So mechanoid was it?
And they're called
Sorry.
Arkanoids. Yeah.
Arkanoid. I've heard about Arkanoids, but I can't say I've never set eyes upon one.
Who said I was an Arkanoid?
I forgot about this shit.
I think...
Going off appearance.
Yeah, alright. I guess there's not much point hiding it. I'm gonna, struggle to pick up whatever else is on the ground. Did you notice me?
I think I did. I got a passive perception of 16.
Honestly, yeah, I mean, it's not like there's a flagstone, cobblestone kind of flooring. So when A9 steps down, you can hear the kind of ping of metal that kind of steps down. So yeah, I'd say you probably would hear it. You'd
Just, like,
also
looking
feel a
around.
distinct weight change.
Arguing stops. We all look to the end.
Everyone turns around.
And then what are you doing?
Who is that?
Where did you get? There's someone
I
there.
think it was the robot.
Thing next.
I like stand up and I just kind of, oh, that's a hello. Yes. I'm just like go over there to Nadra. That's a little one. You have a lot of little people.
I know, right? Why?
Just like shrug.
Why?
Just like go through telepathy. I'm just like yeah, no. I'm like hello.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Do I spot bones?
Bone.
Oh my god, burns.
Do I see them? Oh, like no.
Roll a perception check,
Who's-
please.
What?
He's got bones.
Them bones.
Outside
them
of him,
bones.
he's got extra bones.
That's a better roll.
Is that
17.
the dog's
17.
name or
Yeah, I'll say that you
animal
can
name?
see the kind
Companion.
of shape of what appears to be a kind of ivory bone that's kind of sticking out of the back of the.
One of
backpack
those.
is-
With these bones in my hand, do I recognize? Is it if it's from
Roll
a
a nature
humanoid
check for me, please.
nature?
Yeah. Yes,
Can I
please.
roll a medicine check?
Oh yeah, nature's. Hopefully this is alright.
You're not touching the bone, so no.
15.
Oh shit.
With a 15, I'll say that you definitely don't think they're human. If they are, this is an incredibly large bone that you're holding.
Do I have any idea
The
what it might
backpack
be?
is deceptively kind of fitting this massive, what appears to be, I'd say like a femur almost. It's a little bit, it's longer than a typical humanoid femur, so you don't assume that it's a human skeleton.
Do a bit drools.
You would assume that they are some sort of creature, though you're not sure. You'd have to do a bit more construction of the actual skeleton to work out what it exactly would be.
For our reference, could
Yeah.
you relate the femur to an animal? Are we talking like an elephant femur, or are we talking like a dog
Dinosaur.
femur? Well, that's not a good reference for dinosaur. They came in a lot of sizes.
Arguably, I know, but like backpacks. I mean, a backpack-sized femur would be.
But
very,
he's also
What, like-
4 foot, so it's like
Yeah.
a big backpack.
I-
And
Could you give a length
Roughly.
or mark? How long is your femur?
What kind of famous you carrying?
What's a femur?
I'd say
It's a
it's
parabone,
probably.
like-
It's
Oh, the
probably
leg bone.
yeah.
I should study this.
I'd say it's probably comparable to. It's not quite as big as an elephant femur, but it's maybe like 3/4 of the way there.
horse?
Almost,
Okay.
probably.
That is interesting. Why do you have bones?
Don't worry, they're not human. Or any other
Uh,
humanoid for that matter.
What?
I don't
Horse.
believe.
Don't worry, they're not human bones. I can assure you of that.
Why are we worried about burns when we have someone that literally decapitates things and brings it along with us?
I mean, at
Exactly.
least-
One's called archaeology
Excuse
and the other called problem.
I will admit I am.
It's all in the perception.
My concern for bones is matched with my intrigue for anatomy.
Okay.
Did both Dilbert and June froth the side of bones?
Absolutely.
Don't worry, the bone
Calm down.
If I were you, I'd rush on before you get caught up in this lot and their antics. They can be an awful lot sometimes.
Just leave.
And that was the last we saw of
Bye, Mark.
Thank you, guys. Hit the random button.
Solo adventure.
No, they're not that bad. But
Dilbert sticks his head up and goes,
Jesus.
You have jarring the
yeah.
voice
like,
can be.
finishing stuffing the bones in the backpack, zip it up, I guess. Like, what brings you all to? What's the town name?
Tollen.
Tollen.
what does bring
Cheese.
us on?
We point to the mouse.
Are we purely there to deliver?
Yeah.
What's
What?
the
No,
inheritance?
no, we have to go through there to
Tollen,
get
you
to
have
run
to
along.
go through Tollen to get to run along.
Okay.
There you go.
But the reason
It's
we're
a
stopping
waypoint.
over is the cheese.
We have an
Yeah.
important cheese
Yeah.
mission.
Cheese.
So we are
Yeah.
spending
You've
time
intrigued me.
here because of the cheese.
Yeah.
You see, that
Hi,
one
Pirate
there,
Chef, by the
and
way.
I point to Pirate Chef.
As you kind of make your way around to the back of the cart, you can see Nadia pointing at what appears to be a kind of like a mouse person. You can see that there's like big round ears, kind of the whiskers that are elongated.
Mickey Mouse.
No.
Darn.
No. Don't mention Mickey Mouse.
I'm gonna fucking kill everyone!
Sorry, go on.
He'll come back. You notice that he's got a kind of a weirdly sharp wooden sword kind of held out towards you, and a bit of a cape that's kind of swinging over one shoulder.
Is it making any noise?
I like put my hands up. I'm like, whoa.
Can you
Wow.
believe I tried to kill it once?
He also
We all did.
he's also wearing a gauntlet that's been kind of crafted for him as armor. And you can see kind of plates that kind of clang together as he kind of settles himself into a defensive stance. He's got kind of his hair, like it's like a light grey in colour. It's kind of puffed out slightly as he looks at you.
So I put my hands up.
He's protective of the cheese.
I mean no harm.
I imagine
Don't come near my fucking cheese!
this entire time
What's
I'm
it-
sitting at the front.
He
just
speaks-
like-
well,
So
he
is-
revealed to the party that he speaks in common, so
I don't know, but new guy.
yeah. He speaks in common.
By the way, you notice 6'4" plague doctor just went up in his temple at the front.
I know, yeah, so
6'4" plague doctor.
play. Oh right, with like the.
Yeah.
Oh right.
I'm just sitting there at the front, rubbing my like temples, like.
And I'm just sitting there, 6'3", so not even that bad. Just like,
I feel like every time we come, Nigel just gets taller.
what? Nigel's been 6'3". It's like since the
Nigel-
start.
Nigel's been
No, it's
6'4".
It's just because
That is right.
we all keep getting
Also,
shorter.
I can change that. I can change it whenever I want. As long as I don't change creatures type.
I like the
I can do
idea.
whatever I
I
want.
like the idea. Nigel spends the time just, or daytime just gaslighting us.
Slowly
By just like growing like an idiot. Yeah.
by minute.
One
guess
day you'll
what?
just be taller than me.
I
I
can
don't know
do
what the
it.
fuck.
That's rude. So how tall was Andre?
Your
bone.
character
Six
sheet,
four now.
your character sheet says 6'2".
Oh my bad. Well,
Who is?
Nigel decided to be 6'3" today.
Sure.
I think
I
you
can't
should
do that.
decide
I'm
to
just
be-
6'4". That's
What
what
is-
So
it
what
is.
happens
What I
when you
meant
actually
was that I
change
just
your
didn't
size?
realise that
Your bones elongate.
Nigel was that.
Sure, my bones elongate.
What if you wanted to be 2'2"?
I can't go because that's a small creature. I have to stay within medium.
Ah, okay.
How small can you get?
5 foot, I think.
Yeah, around 5 foot.
That'll be a weird day.
Wait, does a child count as a small creature?
I'm a
Well,
small
like,
creature.
technically.
I'm a small creature.
Just gonna get to tiny.
Nigel's
I
height does
wanna
not
ask-
matter. It's
I want to
interchangeable.
ask, what's the significance of the cheese?
I don't know.
What do you mean? What is the significance of the cheese? As for me, I know, and you to just let me get to do what I need to fucking do.
I have been asking such questions since the fucking beginning.
I've been trying to stop the cheese operation since the beginning, but
Look-
someone decided to heal it.
We tried to kill him.
Look,
I'm pretty sure the cheese is just the joy of owning things.
You could have let me attack again.
I mean, you'll understand why I'm a little bit defensive when they say they tried to kill me.
look.
Oh no, we like
The
we like
cheese,
him now.
the cheese
I
gets
mean,
offloaded
most of
at your
us.
stop, and
Most
then
of us.
it is
I do.
never on my mind again.
I don't.
I do.
He, for reference, Parachef said he needs to go to Tollen and run along, so you're stuck with him for a
Oh.
while.
Yeah, I love Parachef.
Where are we dropping?
You told him about it.
Am I taller than Parachef?
No.
How tall is Parachef?
But he's, I would say he's not incredibly tall. He's probably around your height, maybe 2'4".
That's a big
fucking
mouse.
mouse.
Yeah,
He's a mouse person. He's not
that's
like...
a big.
he-
That's a big mouse.
You guys don't know. It's a relatively big crate. You could probably fit in the crate that he was hiding in originally. He is small.
Oh.
He's not like a regular person. He is a small creature, but he's not like pixie size.
Same size as me. I love Parachef.
Can I share a fun fact about Stuart Little?
Go.
So, Stuart Little in the books is not a mouse, he is just an ugly child.
No, he's not. Don't even fucking. That's bullshit.
Look it up right now. He's just ugly.
So what was your character's name?
You
June.
suffer 6
June.
points of sight.
What is like June's appearance like? Is it sort of like
Do you want photos?
Oh, that's
Ram-
right.
or
There's a-
like Remy from Ratatouille? Like
June? Oh,
June
I'm
is not a mouse.
No, I'm a tiefling. I'm like a little. I got a picture
who's the
right
mouse?
here. No, I got my
Uh,
picture.
Mouse is
he's
like
just
a
a
name.
getting
I
the
drew
pa-
my character.
I know. I'm
I
getting the.
drew my character.
I'm getting the party photos, so Mark knows what they all look like.
Oh yeah, that works.
I'm confused. Who's the...
I did a
Who's the
scribble
mouse
first.
The mouse is just an NPC.
Yeah,
So.
Oh, okay.
that's June.
Okay.
The gamer, the courier.
Yeah, the gamer. That's my character.
Play games.
The internet went out one day, and my quest is to turn it back on.
So Batman's an NPC.
What's that?
Batman's an NPC.
The
Yeah.
mouse.
And he's
Don't say rat.
Yeah, don't say rat in game.
Okay.
You will die.
You can say rat to me.
So I can say mouse though.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a mouse.
He's a
not
mouse.
I guess
The book
But your character does not know this.
is
Your
a
character could very well
realistic
say
yet
rat and learn
fantastical
And just
why
story
you would
realistic
say rat.
about a mouse like a human boy named Stuart Little.
Just
So the mouse person is protecting this.
That's
Sorry.
I think that
Xana's
parachute-
character.
Uh-huh.
My character.
Mhm.
Connor's character. Leia. James.
Me.
And I'll
There's
get.
one with Dilbert.
There is one with
Okay.
Dilbert, I just didn't see it.
Did you want me to?
If you have it faster, I'm going through all the files we've sent
Oh my god.
in
Well,
the chat.
that's kind of your fault though, Lucky. You send a lot of memes.
I do, but also I don't regret them.
Just go to the Instagram.
Can you describe
Oh,
parachute
that's
again?
right. That would be way
So
easier.
he's kind of got these big kind of rounded ears like a mouse. He's got light grey, kind of slightly frizzed out hair at the moment. He's got a kind of lean build to him. He's not necessarily super muscular. He's more like lithe and wiry. He's got a kind of gauntlet that's been modified to fit as a kind of armor piece for him. He's got the kind of longer whiskers, and he's got a wooden sword that's kind of strapped to his back usually, but is held aloft at the moment. And
so
an off-the-shoulder cape.
So it's the sword's still pointing at me. I was about to change like the rest of like what's his deal?
Protective of the cheese. Hates
Don't
us
eat
all.
the cheese.
Don't eat the cheese? I want the cheese.
Unless he
tried.
offers.
Unless he offers. He hasn't.
None of you had any of his cheese yet?
Kruger has. Well, I don't know that, but Leah knows that.
Actually, June's had the cheese. Not
Do you know what type of
Kruger,
cheese?
I don't think.
I am quite the cheese
Okay.
connoisseur.
I think Kruger did.
Hey, if you're nice to him, then maybe, but...
I don't think he's going to be giving me cheese anytime
I mean,
soon.
when we first met him, he attacked all of us. So.
I had to tell him I loved him.
What? Because we didn't hear this conversation.
Oh yeah.
What?
What?
Do you say that in character?
Yeah.
What's in...
Love is acceptable, guys.
Like how much? Like what level of love are you talking about here?
Jeez.
Did you hold hands?
You big lip in that one. You hold hands.
Guys, stop
Jesus.
stop asking.
Well, you're the one that
You
brought it
show
up.
each other your ankles.
Oh my
For
god,
fuck's sake,
guys.
Can we please get moving?
I agree
Where
with
you're headed.
Parachat.
I'm like sitting there, like at the front of the cart. I'm just like.
You guys
what
have
is-
been stopped to talk to.
We've just stopped.
Move
Mark's
the horse.
character.
Oh, I'm
So
just like, oh, yeah.
You guys are now the assholes with a huge gap.
I'll just like whip it once.
It
Like, go
makes
forward.
sense. The queue is not moving, so why would we move?
Oh, the queue did start moving.
No,
The
but
queue
like the
did start
queue,
moving.
it's not like enough movement yet.
I just like whip the horse. I get the horse to walk a bit further. I'm like, yep.
Bye, little person.
Keep
Little
up.
person,
I
come on our cart. Grab my hand.
can't.
Join us.
You're now on our cart.
No, wait. What's your strength?
You're ours now.
Can I use my owls to assist in
No.
hoisting up? But I can.
So I'm still
Like, if the
this
target
is in
must
character.
succeed on a strength saving throw or be moved by the swarm up to 15 feet.
That's a combat thing. It's not. This is you hoisting somebody up onto the cart. That's not. Why would your owls be helping you with somebody failing a strength saving throw?
I would just,
To be fair, the strength check hasn't been attempted yet. You don't know if you.
Exactly.
I was just gonna say because
I'm gonna say you'll already get advantage
dictatorially.
because presumably Mark's character, who nobody has asked for the name of, I will
Oh,
just
yeah.
point out at this point in time because
going
you will get advantage because presumably
Okay.
he will be helping you to hoist him up. So I don't think the owls are necessarily.
They might be. I have a -2. Small man, join us.
Join us, tiny man.
13.
Sure, that's enough. It's like you.
I think the
Cool,
zero
I
is
don't
general.
like
to be
that.
honest.
We have abducted you.
hoist Mark's character up into the cart with you. The weight change kind of it jostles slightly, and you can hear the horses kind of moving their feet, kind of strafing to the side slightly under the change in weight. Because now you have a lot of people crammed into a relatively small cart with cargo. So it's a little bit heavier. So if you were to do a long distance with this amount, you would probably.
Break the car.
I vote
You
we
probably
leave Tollen.
wouldn't break the cart. You'd probably just be slower moving.
Oh, okay.
You would be kidnapped so easily, my guy.
Yeah, why did you?
You just let us, like,
Why?
I've been taken by curiosity. I'm intrigued.
By
How
what's
much
your
money
deal,
do you
bro?
The cheese.
you're interested by the cheese? You
The
can take
cheese-
over the cheese. Like you can
Yeah, if
You
you,
can
want to
take
do
it
the cheese
and-
quest,
have? No.
do that.
I
So
love it.
what are you doing with the cheese? Are you delivering the cheese?
What level
or-
is this love at?
Stop asking me.
Well, stop saying that you love him then.
Stop invading my privacy.
You're the one that is putting your privacy onto me.
Talk to the hand.
Oh my god.
Small
Stop
man.
rubbing people's privacies around.
What is your name?
Is the cheese really the most interesting thing here?
Are we still moving the cart?
Your name, good sir. Your name.
My name? Val.
Val.
Val Leiden.
What?
That's
Who
awesome.
are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Burn.
An archaeologist, if you can tell by the bones.
You know, that makes a lot of... Oh, I mean, I collect bones. I don't collect bones.
You just eat them.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But it's kind of the same. In a way.
He collects them in his stomach.
Yeah.
Right.
Do
Well, I
not,
collect them to study them.
do not leave them unattended.
Well,
Okey-doke.
then we'll have to race to
You don't
find
touch
if
my
we see
backpack.
any bones.
You
And
didn't touch my backpack.
I won't touch the ones that you found. That's against the code. I wouldn't touch bones that someone else has already found.
I
They're not
refuse to
mine.
believe you follow any sort of code.
If you can't follow
Hey,
the
he follows
law.
the book that you get.
The law.
Yes, the
is a
Dragon
set of-
Care book.
The law is
Make
not
a
set
dragon
of
code
codes
book.
that I follow.
I'm just like, I like Dragon Killer. I'm just like,
As you guys are moving forward in this line,
dragons do not steal.
Dragons do not initiate fights with the police.
Gilbert's learning. Gilbert's learning.
as you guys move forward in this line, you notice that along this wide strip of cobblestone that kind of separates the center of this pit or cavern and the actual wall itself, you can see that there are several stalls that are kind of opened up. One of them appears to be a kind of lean-to canvas tent that has a cluster of what appear to be this teenagers and different kind of young adults that are kind of spread around a single person in like a semicircle. So this person is kind of, appears to be speaking, kind of working the crowd. Everybody's kind of watching with rapt interest. And they appear to kind of be speaking to this crowd. And I'll get whoever would like to roll a perception check.
Not me.
Got +6.
A9, you put your hand up. Roll a
Oh,
perception
calm
check.
down.
I'll do it. I got +4.
You can
No,
both roll.
this is metagaming. Okay.
I got
Don't
plus
be
1 million,
ridiculous.
so
I have an undisclosed
I should do it.
modifier.
I'm actually better at D&D than you are.
can you read the number?
Well, give me a sec. Oh, wait, I'm so dumb. It's definitely 16. It's not 91.
No, no, go ahead.
Oh my god, Jay.
I rounded 95. Wait, what the fuck?
I don't want to talk about it. I have a naked idea.
This is the future of our world, everyone.
The future of aeronautics. You can trust your aircraft.
We will
With
make
your
it to space.
91,
With my 91?
Yeah.
Hold.
you...
Highest roll
What
ever.
did you actually roll?
16.
Okay.
That's 91, but
You have a +0
rotated
in
the right
perception.
way. Sorry?
Your wisdom
Yes.
modifier is 0? Okay. With a 16, you look over and you notice that this person, they're quite gangly, kind of, not necessarily gaunt, they just appear to be on the thinner side, lean. They don't appear to be much of a fighter. You get the sense that this person appears to be a human man, just with kind of shaggy black hair that kind of falls to the shoulders. Kind of a thin, pointed face, angular, almost looks like a person that's been just very aesthetically pleasing. Like somebody that can really use their looks and charm to kind of for their benefit, basically. It kind of looks like they're sculpted perfectly for that kind of job. You get the sense that this person is maybe a wordsmith or a bard of some sort. And people appear to be tossing coins to this person as they stand up on like a little, what appears to be a crate of sorts, like a half crate. The people around appear to be sitting down, and you watch as the person appears to be beginning a tale or a performance of some sort. But yeah, seems to be relatively successful, and appears to be the store that is getting the most traffic at this point in time.
Hey, Dilbert, I think I found something you'd be interested in. People are throwing coins at this man.
Oh, I can do that too.
No.
Oh,
I
yes,
just
you
hear that,
can.
just like immediately Swivel just no.
No, in all seriousness.
He's pretty good at it.
No, I know his. I mean, good is... I don't know if good
Let
is...
the boy cook.
You almost killed the child!
Kill?
And this time he'll
I
end
didn't
better.
kill anyone.
No, I think June was the one that
I-
sent the door flying shut to knock out the child, actually.
I don't... What?
Welcome.
Me throwing coins at people is a nice thing. I thought people liked money.
When you throw it at my face, it's not very nice.
Can you heat it up beforehand?
I can do that next time, yeah.
Just like, the entire time, just like, you're like, no.
Am I close enough to hear what's being said?
With the 16, I'll say, yeah, you are. So you guys are kind of pulling level with the end of the queue as far as you can go, and it's kind of level with the actual lean-to canvas tent. And you can see on the back of the tent, now that you're closer to it, you notice that there appears to be a kind of canvas sign, just in white, that's kind of been pulled down, and it says to you at this point just Tales of the Wanderer. Just let me scroll down.
Tales of the Wanderer.
Not
as
a red flag.
you pull level, I'm just going to take a drink because I got some.
Big talking.
I got some big
speech
talk.
coming up.
Big,
Okay.
big speech.
Big talk.
You were just rolling dice for what?
Oh no, just shaking it in my hand. I was
Just-
gonna.
Just joking it.
Yeah, just.
Just do daily dice roll.
So with
Look at what you
so
got.
with the like 16 as the baseline, does that mean I hear it as well?
You with your
And-
passive, yeah.
Yeah.
How's it that I knew that
Can
you were
I
doing that when you
can't
last told
detect
to
evil and good?
re-describe the mouse? I'm like, that's
Sure.
what I'm doing.
So that allows me to detect within 30 feet of me aberrations, celestials, elementals, fey, fiend, or undead.
You get a slight fey presence from the speaker. They ping as a fey creature.
As like a fey, not like an elf or something, but like a full fey.
Let me look up some.
Uh-oh.
Do you know like exactly what and where, or do you just get pings?
I know the creature. I know where the creature is located. You know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. They can penetrate most barriers, blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. But yeah.
They ping as fey. What else do you? What else do you know?
That's about it. I know where it is, but I can see where it is.
Sure.
I know it's a fey. I don't know, what kind of check would it be, like, see what kind of fey it is?
Roll either a religion or an arcana check.
Oh, they're the same modifier either way, so... Praise be Jesus, that's a 19.
With the 19, it's way too far away for you to tell for sure. But you don't think that this is a malicious fey creature.
Okay.
You think that, like I was explaining to A9 before, you think that this person is just very good at using their fey characteristics
Okay.
to work a crowd.
Yeah, okay.
You don't think that there's anything like they're not... It's too far to tell exactly what type of creature they are, but you do know that they are fey of some sort, and they don't appear to be using magic at the moment. It seems like an innate ability that just kind of
Okay.
is happening.
No. Avalad will probably not share that, it seems pretty minor, and I'll be just like, cool.
Can June presuming we're still in the queue, sort of.
Yep.
can June sort of sidle up and begin to listen with a half an eye on the cart to know when it begins to move on?
Sure. As you pull up to kind of, are you circling at the back? Or are you just sitting down with everybody else?
Just
or?
sitting down with everyone else.
Sure.
Not
As
being
you kind
too
of
hidden.
as you kind of set yourself up, you watch as this figure begins to presumably regale you all with a tale. So I'm going to begin a little monologue, guys. Bear with me. And you watch as he begins to speak. Many moons ago, when towering giants roamed the earth freely, and fearsome dragons and winged beasts patrolled the skies, Cthulhu was peaceful. The Prime Pantheon collaborated in raising great spines along the ridges of the realm and carving out great swathes of land to fill with lush forests and rolling green hills. Great titans had fallen at the hands of divine soldiers and honourable warriors, who crowned themselves Cthulhu's new gods, and those titans that remained became servants to this new regime. The evil, corrupt parasites that had eaten away at the Pantheon from the inside were forcibly removed, the head cut off from these wicked foes. It was a new age, one that ushered in freedom and prosperity, but our new rulers had become far too complacent. For an evil slumbered still within the heart of Cthulhu, smouldering at its core. As time went on and Lorelia continued to pull the sun across the sky, tethered by her eternal chain, our new pantheon began to rot from the inside out. Fights broke out throughout its ranks as brothers and sisters were pitted head to head, and divine blood was spilled across the astral marble of Zagara. All the while the rot festered. In the shadows, maniacal laughter rang throughout the halls, unnoticed by its occupants. A maddening rage brewed within the divine, save for one who sat smugly upon a throne, unearned. Ilmaz, the god of insanity, watched his beasts do his bidding and the threads that tied the Prime Pantheon together unravel. Ilmaz's game continued and the Prime Pantheon stayed at one another's throats, until one day, a god far more clever and trickier than Ilmaz discovered his insane game. The Laughing Lord heard the maniacal laughter ricocheting in the halls, and knew it was not of his own design. It was far more nefarious and evil at its core. Never one to be outdone by another's game, Chivoth played along, and Ilmaz was none the wiser. But Chivoth himself was devising an equally cunning plan, one that was certain to be heard throughout the halls, of Zagara for all eternity. After moons of careful rumination and planning, the Laughing Lord cast his plan into motion, a wry grin upon his face all the while. He drew his dear friend Rothor aside and revealed to her his findings, awaiting her vengeance upon her brother. Now our Laughing Lord stood aside as Rothor drew her glass blade across her forearm and dipped slick black blood into the void locked below. She drew her breath in and shrieked into the endless darkness that greeted them, and from her rage Jorkan was born. Gelatinous black ooze shifted and moulded into a humanoid shape, its eyes a smouldering red and its body akin to a shadow. His task was simple: to hunt, to bring ruin to the parasite that drew its power from the gods, to end that which did not deserve to live. Jorkan accepted his missions, and so it was done. His endless hunt had begun. Storming into Zagara, throwing open the throne room doors with Rothor's ferocious bellows ringing out throughout the halls, and the Laughing Lord trailing behind them, chuckling. Jorkan threw his sorrowed blades at the head of Ilmaz, the god of insanity ducking just in time, his beast vanishing with him as he ran, and so gave way to the chase. For years on end, Jorkan chased and chased Ilmaz to the ends of Cthulhu and back. Ilmaz could not rest, for it was certain the Endless Hunter would soon be upon him. After several dalliances and vicious scrapes, Ilmaz lost his eyes from the true strike of Jorkan's blade, the divine fragments claimed by the void from which they were spawned. Eventually, as his hunt continued, Ondasir sent with him another far more unhinged and animalistic pursuer to join Jorkan. Twisted beyond belief and ruthless in his attack, the two were able to sandwich the parasite between them, unaffected by its insanity and pleas for mercy. Whilst Jorkan drew his sword across the neck of Ilmaz, ending his life, his newly spilled blood sent his unwanted companion into a frenzy. It began to cleave Ilmaz into thousands of pieces, butchering him entirely and allowing his pieces to return to the void. It was during his butchering, however, as Jorkan went to retract his hand and blade from Ilmaz's neck, that the God Butcher struck. Attempting to sever Ilmaz's head from his shoulders with powerful, imprecise strikes, he cleaved Jorkan's shattered hand from his wrist. It fell down to the earth, mixing Jorkan's blood with that of the God of Insanity's final pieces, the divine energy exploding outwards. Before their very eyes, a wraith emerged, wisps of shadows clinging to its form, and a wicked grin stretched across its pointed, mangled face. It tilted its head, unhinged its jaw, and a clicking sound emerged to reach Jorkan's ears whilst the God Butcher continued to dice up the ill-fated god beneath its feet. The race set its sights on a shape beyond Jorkan's shoulder, a giant hacking away at a forest and felling its trees. To Jorkan, the clicking continued, but for the race's new target, a voice emerged from the clearing. Run. It whipped its head around in confusion before watching the race speed towards it, laughter ringing through the air. The giant ran and ran. It found solace for a while, before the beast caught up. A wraith in the night, it lurked around corners, a relentless pursuit, born from the hand of Jorkan, the endless hunter. It gave chase again and again until years had passed and the giant thought itself safe. Until once again, a clicking ran throughout the air, and the same voice soon followed. I've got you now. It tore into the giant, consuming all of its parts in a frenzy. Drinking deep from its blood, it released another series of clicks and taps. It rolled its neck and stretched its form. Bones cracked into place and shifted beneath the skin, its body transforming entirely to assume that of the giant it had feasted upon. Legend has it that the beast still wanders throughout our halls, rides across our plains, and gives chase to those it marks. It's said that should the voice appear to you, you have forever sealed your fate, marked for death and haunted for the rest of your days. And when it tears you to pieces, it steals your identity, morphing to fit your image exactly and leaving a mask upon its walls in Acheron. It could be any one of us. It could give chase to any one of us. So when the wanderer arrives to your town, beware of to whom you speak. For death lurks just around the corner. And he steps back, and I will get June to roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
What?
That's terrifying.
Why?
Nadria?
Yeah, also.
Yeah. Huh?
What?
We have to save yourself.
I
This
didn't
is
hear
bad
this.
news bears.
Did I hear this?
You didn't hear this.
Yeah, I didn't
No.
hear it. Oh,
Why?
Yeah, this is Jack talking
Fine.
to Leo.
Five.
With a 5, you watch as this figure carved from marble stretches his hand out, and a hat appears in his hand, almost like a well-worn top hat, and he begins to cast it around. Friends, if you liked my speech, please do me the favour of your patronage. It certainly helps me to craft more incredible tales and to spread them to those who really want them. And June, you feel really compelled to give this person some money.
I have no money. I don't have
Cut off a
money.
finger.
I can give him my scale mail.
I mean, he wants something valuable of yours.
Good.
You do have money, that's bullshit.
I think I gave it away.
I think I have
I don't
all the
think-
party's money.
No.
Currently, it says I have 0 money.
Yikes.
resisted.
Did you add it in your?
Give me a
I
second.
think I genuinely think I gave it away. Maybe
Ooh.
I spent it on the.
Yeah, I've got 487.
I got 300
Compass.
and like one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyhow.
Anyway, you feel compelled to give this person something valuable. He's
Give an
asking for
IOU.
coin. You can see people who are kind of.
My scale mail is worth 50, so I'll give that to him.
He's got a fucking hat and there's also this giant set of
You
plants.
watch as he kind of he steps down from the box and begins to kind of flounce throughout the actual crowd that's kind of amassed now.
I put a hand on his shoulder? Hand? Whatever's like comfortable enough and close enough. Okay, no, actually I put a hand on top of the hat. That's not touching him, which is less weird. So I loved the show so much.
Thank you.
I don't have money on me per se, but I feel the need to offer some patronage for such an act that I will surely remember until my eyes open no more. I have this older suit of armor that I used to wear, but I don't really wear it anymore. But it's still worth a lot. And I think firstly you could just find it useful. Prop costume, it's pretty. I think it was pretty. But it's worth money. And that I think will support your show. May, could I give you such a gift?
I would certainly appreciate it, my friend.
Here,
Please.
back. Where would you like it?
Oh, you can just leave it over there, and you can see that there's like a small, kind of amassed backpack, and kind of different, I guess. They look like scrolls, just made out of canvas, and you assume that perhaps he has different tales that he tells. This one happened to be the Wanderer.
The dog's not outside, is it?
No.
Okay, a neighbor just broke something. Lovely.
Oh, what happened?
It was like a smashing glass.
I heard
What?
that as well.
Yeah.
I did not hear it.
Neither did I.
Something
You guys have
like-
hyperactive ears or something.
Passive perception. Good.
Passive perception.
You heard it, but...
Well, yeah, I dumped my scale mail over in that spot. Can I do a cursory perception check for anything I might find devious?
Sure. Roll an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. It's not great. My investigation, though, is fine. It's a 8.
You don't
Pretty
see
much no.
anything evil. Like there's no effigies or anything here. There's no like pentagrams.
There's
It's
not some
like,
cultist who is like, great show.
you don't see anything nefarious here. It just seems like this is a traveling wordsmith
Beautiful.
who just spins tales to get money and happens to be really good at it. You can see that there are a couple of different people that are putting in like 10 gold a hand. He just seems to have an innate ability to want people to, or I guess, to make people
them
want
Yeah.
to give him patronage.
This may be a really annoying question, or it may be like my lore question. Name?
Oh, you haven't asked.
Well, I would like to. Sir, may I ask a name, so I may share your worth and fortune upon my travels?
Okay.
So it wasn't a
As you,
question.
no, it wasn't a
Okay.
naughty question. I just wasn't expecting you to be like.
Good sir.
I need to ask. I need to ask you. What was that, friend? You wanted to inquire about my name?
Indubitably. Sorry, yes, I would love to.
He watches, he does a bit of a sleight of hand trick. He flips the hat, and all of the coins seems to kind of pour out in a stream into his hand. He puts it on his head. My name is Lathamir. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely. Pleasure to meet you too, Lathamir.
Roll a history check for me, please.
Yes, I would love to. 12 plus 2, that's 14.
With a 14, you specifically have heard the name Lathamir before. It happens to relate to the origin of the Montiscos. Lathamir was the first cursed individual.
Is this a man or is this a
He
sheep?
He appears to be a man.
Lathamir. Are you sure?
You're asking him
Yeah.
that's his name? Sorry? Do you have an issue with my name?
Is there more than... Is it a common name? The Lafamir
Well-
I heard of.
Roll an intelligence check for me. Just straight intelligent.
The Lafamir I heard of had a lot more... Where's my intelligence? Oh, there it is. 13. Fluff.
You know that it might... The only reason that you might think it's weird is if Abelard has shared with you that this fey creature... This is a fey creature. But Lathamir, it's like a lot of people that name their kids Apollo and Artemis.
Okay.
It's kind of named after a figure in mythology or folklore,
Okay.
but you're not too sure...
So it's not weird for someone to be called Lafamir and not be
Not necessarily.
Montague.
It's Montiscos.
Montiscos.
Not Capulets and Montagues. You know, it's not necessarily a common name in these parts, but you gather that some people might be called it, just with no relation to Montiscos.
So are you a member? Are you associated with the Montiscos at all?
Can't say that I am, no. I'm merely just a travelling wordsmith.
Ah, shame. I would have had many a tale to share with you were it the case. But I
don't believe I caught your name.
June.
Just June?
No, just June.
No, just June.
For all intents and purposes, yeah. Yeah, I think just June. I mean, I have other names. People call me other things, but I prefer just June if that's cool with you.
Of course. And whereabouts do you reside? Just June?
Like, that's a hefty... Currently?
Well, simply where are you from? You seem to know a lot about the Montiscos.
Well, I'm actually from Sprockerot for the most part, but I've been around. I did some work with the courier service, as well as just my own wanderings. Like you don't find the courier service sign up shop. Well, at least the cool one in Sprockerot. You probably do, but
I
You know
wasn't
what?
aware they had a cool sign-up spot, but much appreciated.
where this guy signed up.
Perhaps if I decide to grow tired of spinning wonderful tales for those that care to listen, maybe I'll venture into courier work.
I hope you never do.
I hope I don't either, but I was being polite.
So was I. I
added
really
that.
enjoyed your story.
At this point,
I will. Are you coming to Tollen? Tollen?
you're asking...
Yeah.
Am I going to Tollen? I'm in Tollen now.
Well, I mean, are you coming all the way in, or are you just stopping?
No, I do. I've been here for the past couple of days. I'm waiting to go into Runalum and then to find myself in Mendoza if I can.
Hopefully we see you along the way. I think my cart is leaving.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah. I'll catch you later.
Pleasure.
June.
We're going in the top.
So you did end up handing a scale mail over?
Yeah.
What
You have to agree
urged you to give away your chainmail, your scale mail?
Well, I wasn't wearing it, and
As a note, whatever charm effect you suffered from has gone it when during your conversation with Lathamir.
am I aware of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you knew you were charmed.
Yes, you knew you were charmed.
Cool. I was charmed, but he was cool anyway, so I'm gonna let it slide.
I probably... He's a fey creature. I probably should have mentioned that. It just didn't seem that important.
I liked him.
Yes. Anything relevant?
Technically, yes. Okay, how long do we have?
I just... cliff notes, please, just dot points.
You heard this with your...
Yeah, I'm just like...
you just weren't affected by the charm.
Yeah, did I
Didn't
hear?
have a
Did
rank.
I hear the stuff about Londosa and stuff as well? No.
No.
I'm just
He
like.
wasn't projecting his voice.
Okay, I'm just like I heard most of the story. It's pretty relevant. I like how I imagine I'm like hearing it and I'm just like
I'm just
jittering about
arguing
it.
with Dilbert.
I'll be just like jittering off about it as we go. I'm just like, oh, fascinating. I was with wonder and stuff like that. I'm just like, anything relevant about the fake creature?
Can I roll a performance check to try and recreate his story as he did? I can do that. That's so easy.
Sure, roll with disadvantage. It was a long performance.
9.
You remember most of the cool bits of the story.
Yeah.
You don't remember the extra fluff that he kind of added around it to make it seem more dramatic. You certainly don't have his showmanship. Nobody feels necessarily compelled to give you money from the party.
I hold.
I imagine Avalanche just like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't have a bucket anymore. I don't even have a backpack.
It certainly
Hold anything
seems
out.
like you know the Walmart versus Chanel meme.
Yeah.
Walmart version.
Does it feel like I'm sitting in like my classes again or something? Where
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yes.
I hold my cloak out.
What do you want?
Patronage.
I just like grab the cloak and just like, are you giving it to me?
No. You saw the thing. I know you saw it. You told me you heard most of the story.
The story.
You're just belittling me. I put the cloak back on.
For the most part, as you deliver this speech, the rest of you have now, you can consider that you have heard the speech that I gave.
Danke. That was the
Immediately, in my head, I am going to ask people about it. Hello.
She was like, "Yeah, sick story, bro."
Yeah, that's an awesome story. Anyway, is what he said true?
Well, exactly which part?
All of it, really. That entire story that's supposed to be a folklore tale.
I mean, kind of. I would say it's probably a little bit embellished. You know, these things kind of happen when you deal with Fae, but for the most part, that is certainly true. What exactly is bothering you about the story?
You know, just the small bit about the Wanderer, and like if you see it, it's a bad omen, and then like if you hear a wraith thing, you're destined to die, and it's destined to steal your identity. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly tricky little bastards.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
From what I know, it's certainly not great.
That's awesome.
I don't believe. Well, I don't want to presume, but I'm assuming you haven't heard any scary clicking noises and then a voice telling you to, you know, begin your chase and all of that. But
No, luckily I have not. So
I'd say you're probably safe from being marked and haunted for the rest of your life. For now.
Can I roll like an insight check on that
Sure.
or something? I don't know what my insight is. I don't remember my real stats. It's a 17.
For the 17, you get the sense that Chivos is maybe choosing his words carefully.
Oh. That's scary.
But you're not exactly sure. You don't think he's lying. He was just very vague about what he said.
Seems normal.
Yeah.
Chivo being big. Alright, well, that's cool that you, like, decided that the evil insane god was bad and you wanted to be better, so you decided to...
Well, see, I'm not one to be outdone. I don't exactly like it when people play tricks on me. It's kind of my whole shtick, you know? So I decided that, well, if bad things are going to be happening, I can't be dealing with the infighting when I've got plenty of other things to be worrying about, so...
But didn't you cause infighting?
Oh, that was an entirely different thing.
Why didn't you want to deal with that infighting, but then you would cause more?
Well, because this one was,
It wasn't you
more
that
like
made the
a
joke?
bloodthirsty frenzy.
Oh.
Mine was more just playing a practical joke that went a little bit wrong.
A little bit more than a little.
Who's to say? You weren't there, were you?
Whoopsie, a famine.
I wasn't, no. But from what I've heard, it's a little bit more than a little. but that's okay. It was
Are
a
you
joke.
questioning me?
I'm not.
Doesn't seem like it.
I just... A whole famine doesn't seem like a little thing, but that's okay. You can...
I didn't cause an entire
Yeah,
famine.
you didn't do that. That was like, it was...
See, here's the thing, Nadria. Sometimes people are gonna make stories to their own benefit. See, you don't hear many people telling tale about how, well, in fact, I was the one who set into motion the whole hunting down the insane god thing, do you? You don't
No,
see that in
actually.
history books, but I'd say that's a pretty big point in the good column for me, wouldn't you say?
Actually, yeah.
History books can be funny things depending on who's writing them.
Especially when you're grouped in with a bunch of people that are known to do bad things constantly.
Exactly. And see, none of that was my fault. I just happened to misjudge my timing, let's say. And well, at the end of the day, I'd like to say that for the most part, I am pretty much against any of the creepy, bad shit that people are doing in my name. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you won't get the sense of this because we're not technically tied together, but I definitely thought someone off someone else, you know, like a whole, very graphically, like in your mind, you see a flashing image of a human sacrifice in my name, which was pretty disgusting. I mean, it doesn't feel...
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like...
you'll never know what it feels like to be a god and to receive a tribute or a kind of sacrifice like that, but it's kind of a gross metallic taste in the mouth, and it's overall unpleasant.
Yeah, I feel like you're more into the play a fun little prank on your friend, and
Absolutely.
that's...
Like the other day, I came into somebody's house and I rearranged all of their sock drawers through somebody else. Fantastic.
That's evil. Pure evil.
That's it. You stay in the box.
Not breaking no chains.
No chains! That is the last straw!
Just a bit of harmless fun, but kind of inconvenient.
Yeah, honestly, that seems kind of funny.
It was fantastic. And that is the kind of tribute I really think that people should be, you know, putting forth in my name. I don't want all of this creepy voodoo shit.
So do you think, when I'm, like, pretending to be a god to Dilbert, that's, like, a funny thing?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I mean, I would help you if I could, but unfortunately, I've kind of exerted myself by speaking to you as often as I do, and let's just say using my other powers to rearrange people's sock drawers and all that. Sometimes people just wake up with an urge to, like, I don't know, misplace a certain object that's incredibly important to somebody else and then pretend they didn't know where they found it.
What?
You know, like when you lose your sword and you really need it,
Oh.
and then somebody magically happens to find it, but they're the one that misplaced it just because it was a bit funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. Well, don't worry. I have the Dilbert thing. It's fine. I'll keep doing it. I think it's really funny myself.
Gaslight. Get on.
Yes. That's our motto.
The 3 G's of Chivo.
That's the name of our adventuring party.
Well, that's cool. It's cool to know that you did like a cool thing.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there's plenty more stories where that came from. You just have to find them in libraries near you.
Libraries has a lot of books, but
Well,
one
maybe
day.
you'll stumble upon this other guy. He seems to think that I'm pretty great.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, no. That's it. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't telling lies.
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, the whole part about the giant being chased, I don't think that one was true necessarily. As far as I'm concerned, the wanderer kind of walked for a long period of time, stumbled upon a village, and, well, kind of let out the whole clicking noise, like the, I guess, mark first, and then whoever it lands on, that's I guess when you hear the voice.
Oh my god. Is it a dolphin?
No.
I'm coming for you.
Those
Land
bastards.
shark.
Has there been like any record of anyone that's heard this noise not dying?
Are you asking Chiba?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I probably wouldn't know necessarily. People don't really tell me that sort of stuff.
Maybe you witnessed something.
Well, I did hear tale of the Wanderer accidentally trying to target a Titan, but I don't think that went particularly well, but I believe the Wanderer still, I guess, roams as far as possible, and then appears to be marking their prey still.
Do they like watch it like their prey at all? Because remember in the Chronicle, you were there, right? This was like after you came back, right? And they were like,
I think so.
yeah, they were yeah, that was like, well, for what we know, that was what we guess is them. Do you know why?
Are you asking me if you've seen the Wanderer?
I mean, did we?
I don't believe so.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
Insight. It's a 12. Lynn, get your insight stats back here.
You don't think Chivas lying.
Okay.
You only get 100% honesty from Chivas.
First G is gaslight. Alright. No, that's all. You can go back to
Nadri, if you were to have happened upon the Wanderer, I would suggest you start looking around darkened corridors a little bit more. That's all I'll say.
That's cryptic.
You get no response from Chiba.
Awesome. Back to the carriage. Hey guys.
While that's happening, you watch as Nadria, they just kind of zone out.
So this is all like a
Telepathic.
telepathic.
Yeah,
Okay,
Nadria's
so like no verbal.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, what just happened? But if I couldn't hear it, then never mind.
Well, on we go, guys.
Yeah.
We've been going forward this entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that's exactly up to us. I think it's up to the line in front of us.
Yeah.
How long does this queue look? Can we see the end of it?
You guys are at the staircase at this point.
Yeah. I'm just like, I really wish I was.
You,
with
as you're
you.
approaching this, this staircase here, you can see that it's a really shallow steps. It's kind of a very gradual, smooth ride down, and it's not a part of the actual cavern itself. So the cavity that kind of you think makes up most of Tollen as a town. It's kind of a little pocket off to the side that kind of curls around itself, and there's enough space to fit a cart, a bigger carriage than you guys have as well. The ornate carriage is making its way down relatively easily, but I will get you guys to roll animal handling checks just for me, please. And you can have advantage because I believe Krugar's helping.
I believe so. No,
My.
So it'll just be
me, because I'm controlling the
rolling at the
horses.
moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 20.
Yo.
Natural 20. As you're so ready to get out of this line that you just kind of click the actual reins themselves, and they kind of snap into place, and the horses kind of just gradually, it's very smoothly, almost like they're gliding down the stairs, reach the bottom with absolutely no problem, and you guys are now faced with the same kind of intricate archways and geometric patterns that kind of make up the dwarven ruins that line these arches. And you're faced with the interior of this massive cylinder that kind of wraps all the way around. And those same sort of pockets that you see up the walls are kind of just focused on the bottom now. The rope bridges definitely seem to be, as you cast your eyes up, a lattice work above you. You can see people that are walking. There's somebody that's kind of wheeling in a chair down a ramp that's kind of sloping to get to a different shop front, kind of pivots in front of one and begins to wheel up another. There are children, like I said before, that are running along these rope bridges and kind of bouncing them to try and kind of upset the people that are in front of them. They're playing chase along these, kind of like a jungle gym, along these rope bridges.
Are they just trying to upset random people by like jumping on the ropes, or
No,
like
other
other?
kids.
Okay, it's not like there's travelers.
Granny's crossing it. It's just like, ah!
Die!
He's like holding on and throwing up.
My pelvis.
What kind of condition are these rope bridges in?
Roll a perception check for me, please.
My dice fell underneath Lucky's chair. Don't ask how it got there. 10.
The 10, they're way too far for you to see at this point. Fucking
What the fuck?
disgusting.
Oh.
Ew. That.
What are you all thinking right now?
Nothing.
I'm gonna disinfect that, man.
Oh, let me.
My dice fell on the floor.
And then it fell into Xander's mouth.
Lucky put it there.
Lucky put it.
Anyway,
Was it under the table?
I fed it to Xander like I was feeding a horse.
anyway, the rope bridges are way too far for you to see. At this point, you guys are 150 feet below where you were before, going down these stairs. It's a relatively sharp drop into Flightstone. Do you have something you want to say?
No.
Great. Thank you. Above you, there's about, I would say, it's probably about 250 feet before you can see the actual road bridges themselves. And the condition, they look okay. You assume if people are happy to walk along them,
And
they're
jump
probably
on
fine.
them.
Yeah, they're probably fine. They don't look to be snapping or fraying from this position.
I'd turn to Avalanche and go, can I go up there?
No.
Yes.
If we get
Yes,
spare,
child,
if
go.
we get some spare time, I am sure it would be a wonderful experience to see the town.
It looks like fun.
Be good
I-
for
I-
experience. I must say, I'm interested in the quality of life.
No, I
here.
just wanna
don't-
jump on the bridge.
Yeah, I don't
Child,
think
how
he
light are you?
actually-
Huh?
How light are you?
Child.
You
Let
could
me
probably
go.
throw me.
Well,
No, we're not.
you weigh more than 10 pounds?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck.
Anyway, I'm gonna because so where are we taking you here? Or are we?
You're
just-
asking Parachute?
Yeah.
Well, technically, I need to go to a jeweler, and that's where I'll drop off my cargo. So if you wouldn't mind coming with me, I think that'd be great.
So, do you know where this jeweler is?
Absolutely, it's right over here. And he begins to kind of give you directions.
Okay.
And as you weave through the town,
Also, I'm
Can I
kind of
insight check Paracho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
for
just-
what?
Like if he's just being like bold. Like he's like, of course I know, I'm not
Sure.
dumb. And I think that's something that he might do. 13 plus insight, which is plus 3, so that's 16.
Parachute knows where he's going.
Okay,
He's been
good,
before.
good.
Or at least you've never been here before, but you don't get the impression that Parachute is lying when he's giving directions. They seem oddly specific.
Okay,
Okay.
very good.
As you're kind of making your way through,
I'm already at method.
and he begins giving you directions, you can see that there is like a smattering of open stalls. So there's some little awnings that are kind of pulled over the top. Despite the fact that there's presumably no weather here to affect it, it kind of just seems more for appearance. You can see that it's absolutely bustling down here. There are people moving in between shops and things, and it's relatively hard to remove your cart, maneuver your cart through these people. but people gradually get out of your way and shift as much as they can. You see in the centre, people seem to be revolving mostly around this building that I pointed out to you guys before. It's the 2-story building, and you can hear that there's faint music that's kind of trickling out. The parachef will say things like, I need you to move just past these 2 and go forward for another 2 stalls and then a right, and then he'll continue on to give you directions until you get to a slope on one of these stone walkways. And it appears that Parashev is asking you to go up to the one of the upper levels.
Okay.
Do you move your horses up that way?
Does it look like it's a horse-friendly path?
It seems okay. It's a gradual slope, but you do have a very heavy cart, so it might be a bit of a difficult track for them.
How fast is our cart moving? Is it we could walk alongside at pace?
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's up to you guys. How fast
I don't think
you
we're going
want.
to be fast because there's a lot of people around because it's Abelard driving is overly cautious about hitting people.
Yeah.
So I imagine it'll be going quite slowly.
A9,
Yes.
would you care to walk with me?
Yes, certainly. Why?
We're going up a hill.
Why?
Are you afraid of falling down?
No, yes. Yeah, I am.
Alright.
In a roundabout way.
But you're afraid you'll be hurt?
No, I'm
Or someone
afraid
is looking to hurt you?
the horses will not outweigh on the carriage and...
Oh,
If-
yes. No, okay, that seems understandable.
Yeah. Sorry, you're just the heaviest.
Oh.
Heavy is not a dirty word, guys.
It's not like...
I mean, you're made of metal,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
theoretically speaking, I am assuming that you have a higher density than most people.
As I jump off the cart, does the cart, like...
Oh yeah,
It
levels
bounces
out.
a little bit.
There's definitely less weight in there now. The horses probably could have done it with you guys in there as well, but it definitely seems like they're thanking you for not making them lug like 300 kilos up
Up a hill.
up a hill, even though it is a relatively soft and kind of gradual slope.
Okay.
Eventually, Parashev will take you to what appears to be an upper kind of ring of Tollen, and you can see that there's a small pocket that appears to boast a jeweler's. And there doesn't seem to be anybody manning the small little desk that's kind of... it's like a well-worn oak desk that stretches from side to side. There is a small little swinging door, and what appears to be a door into the back. The interior has a kind of marble effect on the floor, and you can see that there's somebody who's waiting in line before you. Presumably, whoever is manning this has gone into the back to search for whatever they're looking for. There appears to be small little shelves that are kind of marked with, there appear to be several different, like, watch faces, specifically, on the sides, on the walls. And at the back, you can see that there are, like, fine chains and bracelets that kind of line the back wall. And lots of little kind of tinkering supplies. You can see jewelers, magnifying lenses, I forget what they're called. The jeweler's monocle.
I think they're also just called magnifying lenses.
Anyway,
Yeah.
magnifying lenses. You see those magnifying lenses, and you can see that there are all of these little fine tools that are kind of methodically placed on the desk in like a specific order, and they don't appear to have like, they're not graduating down in size. They just seem to have very specific points and different hooks on each of the ends of these tools, and they have like a cork handle.
Would you like to know the name?
Yeah.
I would never have guessed this, but it's called I don't know how to pronounce this. It looks like loop, but it's Loupe. Like a loup, maybe.
Okay, cool.
Lupe.
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 Lupe. Cool. So, you guys position your cart just in front,
Yeah, basically.
and
Delivering.
Parashev points at June and goes, "Would you like to talk with me to this friend of mine?"
I'd love to.
Perfect. And he kind of leads you in to stand behind this person, who's already waiting in line. And at that point, I think it's a pretty good time for us to take a quick break. And when we return, our fearsome party will confront the reality that Parashev needs to deliver some cheese to this jeweler.
Amazing.
And that's what they're intending to do. So we will rejoin our party as we do that. For now, thank you so much for watching this part. We will see everybody on Twitch in just a little bit. And everybody else, we'll see you when the next episode comes up. Goodbye for now.